Switching gears then, Andy, let's focus on Manchester United against Southampton this Sunday at Old Trafford. And the main question here is, what kind of response will we see from Man United? Obviously, the storylines have been swirling around this game after they were hammered, that shellacking they had 7-0 at the hands of their bitter rivals Liverpool. So how do you think they're going to react? Because there's been some intriguing press conferences in the week ahead of this game. Quite defiant, the mood from the Red Devils, but that's one thing, talking about it, getting back on the pitch and showing you kind of learn from those lessons is another thing, right?
Yeah, it's been, 4 days now since that game happened, and I don't know about you, but I still can't believe it happened. And we were doing the live watch along on the NBC Sports YouTube page, and every time a goal went in, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe what we were witnessing, because the level of performance from United this season has been so solid. If you take away those first 2 games where they just were not ready to start the season, I think that's very, very clear. They have been incredibly solid, and I think you could probably, if you take those 2 away, one of the maybe the best form team in the Premier League over the course of the season, and that's a huge improvement from where they've been in recent years. And Ten Hag has done obviously an incredible job, but this is a completely different type of challenge to pick a team back up, not just at any point during the season, but at a very, very pivotal point of the season where they've got so much to play for in the league. They're obviously chasing Europa League as well, and they've got the FA Cup too. So they've already won the League Cup. Like, it feels like this season has the potential to be the one that puts Manchester United back up on the pedestal, back up among the elites. And then you throw in an event like that, and you just do not know. I think that there is enough experience in the team between Casemiro, between Rafael Varane, that I think that they will have preached the right message to the team this season. But there's a lot of young players in there. This week, there's a lot of young players in there that I just don't know how they're going to respond. Players that have either been at the club through some hard times, and when the club has fallen on hard times in recent seasons, they've just stayed there. And do they fall back into that kind of into that mindset, or do they pick themselves up? It's the fact that Southampton have to play them after this one, it could be a gift, it could be a curse.
Yeah, you're right. From a hometown club there, I'm a bit concerned for them in some regards. But again, it might be a good time to play Man United, because it is quite just quite a blow to have that after so many positive months. And I think it's quite a shock to the system for United. But in the week, I mean, Bruno Fernandes over here in England got hammered by pretty much every pundit for his, playing the game and the way he was reacting as United's captain when they were hammered again by Liverpool 7-0. But Erik Ten Hag has come out and backed him, called him an inspiration to the players and the way he usually acts. So obviously he's backing in there and wants him to, prove it was a one-off. And Marcus Rashford was defiant again, and he said it was more about a lack of organisation and just sloppiness and communication, a lack of that. Rather than the players throwing in the towel or anything like that. So is it just a one-off, Andy? I mean, it's happened a few times to them. Away at Man City early in the season, they conceded 6, obviously big defeats at Brentford and other teams where they have conceded goals in big numbers. When it goes wrong for them, it goes wrong in a pretty spectacular way. So there is a theme, but maybe I'm kind of going to say this is a one-off right now. I've seen enough over the last few months to think they can just kind of click back in, and okay, maybe it was tiredness, fatigue after so many cup competitions. The squad hasn't been rotated that heavily. It's not as big of a squad as the other top 6 teams in the Premier League. I think there's quite a big drop off in quality from the starting 11. But it's going to be intriguing. But I think this is a one-off. I don't think this is a prolonged dip in form from United we're going to see here. But do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think this is who they are, but at the same time, the fixture list is not getting any kinder to them, and it's weekend Thursday. When the games keep coming like that, and you have a short squad and you have had good results, you tend to settle on a starting 11, and you tend to settle on 3 or 4 subs that you're going to use pretty regularly, and so you fall into a pattern, and then you pick up result after result, and you feel really good, and then all of a sudden everybody kind of hits a wall a little bit about the same time. And I think that was a big factor in what we saw against Liverpool. And again, it's a quick turnaround. with Europa League on Thursday and then straight back into the league on the weekend, it's not going to do them any favors. And so I think Ten Hag has to find maybe not a secondary way of playing, but he's got to find a way to rotate 2 or 3 players in and out of the team, probably on a game-to-game basis, to keep everybody fresh, to keep that performance level high, because it has been incredibly high, and they have had some really, really big results and galvanizing results that give you the feel of, oh, this is Manchester United again. And to be able to maintain that over a long period of time, like you say, without a super deep squad, is a very, very difficult challenge. And I think he probably knew that was going to be the case this season, and they're probably ahead of schedule as well, arriving to the point that they're at right now. And that's something that we should remember is, 7-0 to Liverpool was something we would have easily expected from United a season ago. Not this season based on what they had done, but they're not there yet. And I think that's the important thing to remember, is this is still very much a work in progress. And I think everybody kind of shifted their mindset to think, all right, United's back, and so we're going to hold them to that standard once again. But in reality, they're not quite there.
That's true. And, Liverpool could do that to pretty much any team on their day when it clicked like it clicked. It was almost a perfect storm, wasn't it, of catching United when they were tired, making bad mistakes, and Liverpool, everything went their way and flew in. But I'm not making any excuses for Man United, but that's why I think it is a one-off. I've seen enough of them this season to suggest it's not going to impact them long-term, and they're still going in the right direction under Erik ten Hag. Talking about right direction, Southampton are heading in that right now. My hometown squad, 2 wins from the last 3 in the Premier League, 1-0 victories away at Chelsea, and then at home against Leicester, really importantly, last time out, which kind of gives them a chance, Andy. They seem to drag about 6 different teams back into the relegation scrap with that win. So do they have a chance here, United? They're just going to play for a draw, make it tight, make it hard, because Ruben Sellers, the interim coach at the end of the season, he's come in and done a really good job of settling things down and almost getting Saints back to the high-pressing team that they were under Ralph Hasenhüttl, getting those tactics back that worked so well for many years and the players are comfortable with. That seems to be a good approach for the rest of the season, not complicating things and just keeping things simple. And some interesting things he said. Rafa Benitez is his hero. He grew up in Valencia, watched a lot of the Valencia teams, and I think he really knows how to organize a team to be tough to beat. Yes, they were pretty lucky against Leicester. I have to say Leicester had an off day. But that's sometimes I feel like Saints perhaps haven't had that luck this season where they've come up against teams that are really in form, had some bad misses themselves. But right now it seems like they're giving themselves a chance to stay in the Premier League this season with a very young, talented squad. Maybe they're just feeling it a little bit, right? I know they have a tough schedule remaining, but momentum at this time of the season is really key. So not getting hammered at Man United and maybe coming away with a point would be pretty big for Saints.
Yeah, you have to be able to make yourself defensively solid to stay up if you're in a relegation fight. And I think there's a lot of teams that lose sight of that and think, all right, we'll just try and attack and we'll try and score our way out of the relegation zone. And those teams always go down. And to be fair, I don't think Saints have the personnel or the firepower to be one of those teams. And so it does seem like he has a good idea of the squad that he has to work with. And I think he's a good fit right now. And I remember as soon as he was installed as the manager for the rest of the season, the first thing you said was, I really like this guy. I feel like he has the right idea, not just for what this squad specifically needs, but for kind of a relegation battle. And a lot of the same things that we've said about Sean Dyche over the years, Sam Allardyce over the years, guys that have been in those battles and have come out more often than not on the right side of it is a manager that can organize a defense, grind out some 0-0s and get a point here and there and manage to steal 3 in games that you would never expect them to do, because again, they can keep clean sheets. And so, yeah, it's been a hugely improved Southampton team and just the performances in recent weeks, but they started in such a hole from when he took over that, it's going to be a challenge. It feels like if somebody is going to catch form and fire at this point of the season, somebody down in the bottom 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, I guess, as it is in the Premier League right now, somebody's going to do it. And so I guess my question is, why not Saints?
I hope you're right on that score. But yeah, Nathan Jones' appointment obviously seemed just bizarre from the start. Didn't work. 8 defeats from his 9 Premier League games. He's out. Ruben Sellers has been in the background now since last summer under Hasenhüttl as the lead assistant coach. And as you mentioned, really like him, really like the positivity he's brought to the team. More organised, and a big week coming up for Saints. Aside from this United one where anything's a bonus, they have Brentford at home on Wednesday and then Tottenham at home a few days later. So a couple of big games at St Mary's before the international break. And you think that they could put themselves in a pretty good situation. And just more so, I think, worry the teams above them, the likes of Leicester, West Ham, Everton and Leeds in the mix. You'd also, those teams would probably fancy their chances of finishing above Saints at the end of the season, but that's not what you need. You need players who are going to scrap and fight, and I think there's enough young players who are willing to do that at Saints where it could just give them the edge. But in this game, I'm going to give Man United the edge. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to United. I think they'll just edge it. But Andy, what's your score pick for this one?
1-1. It's a good time to play United. Just the fixture list is piling on all the pressure, and I think Saints will take advantage of that and apply some of their own.
Oh, wow. Looking forward to that one now then as a hometown Southampton lad. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest news ahead of this game, how to watch information, preview, team news, live analysis and video during the game. Man United against Southampton at Old Trafford. Let's see how the Red Devils respond from that massive defeat to Liverpool. Surely the only way is up from here.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.